light. Let there be light, and there was light. Oh, I'm saying this. And there was light. Okay, right. So welcome. I am Crime Queen, and if you are joining us for the first time, this is the channel where we have fun with words and numbers, numerology to be precise. This is where we actualize self-love with the use of scriptural references, our life experiences, knowledge, practices, traditions, and beliefs, and to, of course, use those to actualize self-love. Of course, it's all about love. And love is the energy that really keeps us alive. And of course, when we do the numerical value for the word love, it equals 9. And now I am beginning to understand the fullness of the cycles and the importance of the cycles. Hence, on our template, we have this 369, 369. And I'm really grateful and thankful for Mother Eve. This is Mother Eve, in case you are new to this channel. And this is the sacrifice template, of course, derived from the sacrifice of Jesus Christ. Of course, that is responsible for all the, for Christianity as a whole. And we can see from this template that there are 3 sections or 3 cycles of 369, 369, 369, 369. I'm feeling quite excited about that because, of course, I have seen the evidence or significance of 369, but I'm believing that there is more depth to it, and so I'm excited about what is going to evolve as well from the 369. So these are really like cycles on top of cycles, and I said this very early on in my list of presentations. But however, it's like each cycle has their subcycles, we could say, and we have the medium cycle. So the first is the sac, the next one is the reef. The sac is, of course, where we get all our nurturing and all our conditionings, particularly in this second column. This would be a clear illustration right here about where Jesus Christ had his bonding done with his disciples. We are talking about there must have been several cycles of bonding, but the one that would really matter the most would be where he had broken up the bread on the Last Supper, gave to the disciples, and of course and the wine as well. So that's why I say basket of bread and bucket of wine. So we see BKT for basket, BKT for bucket. So of course we have seen all the significance for that as well, the K and the T. And so basically we see that this column is very crucial, and it of course comes under the 6, and that's where we have the two 6s that I have been talking about. This is like the 2 aspects of ourselves, in that we were created of 6 different entities, and each of those entities that we were created of, it's like there were 2 sets of creation as well. So this is very now clear in Genesis of chapter 1 and 2. Now there's also that we are created of 14 different gods. So the different gods, of course, come under the God said, the God formed, the God made, the God who made, the God who set. And we can see, if we look very well, we'll be able to tell that these gods were not the same God who said, let there be light. They were like sub-gods, you could say, but they were gods. It's like now saying that we are all children of God. And in actual fact, I can say that my siblings and myself are the children of my parents. And that is an example of how I'm explaining. That's what I mean. So when I say like sub-gods, but children are children. and gods are gods, or parents are parents. So we say our godparents. And it just reminds me, perhaps the Catholic are very, very clear about that aspect too, because I remember about you having godparents. So there would be a representation. I don't know if it has another meaning to it, but it would have a representation about you having your godparents, which would be a representation of the 14 gods, because the 14 gods consolidate into sets of 7. And of course, even after all, or overall, I should say, with Mother Eve, they would consolidate to 5, because they would be that merging together. Okay. And so it's just to give you if you're new to this channel, I won't go through all this now because I've got templates to numerology. So we call revelation into motion, is that it would reveal to us accordingly to Mother Eve's information that is appropriate for us to understand right now, and to have transparency in what we are doing. So we call waters, which is Mother Eve. And we see with this, yes, I think we can move ahead. Okay. So we have been looking past, present, and future, and I have done 3 presentations on the subject of past, present, and future. But I was looking at a video and I just had to smile. So there is just so much information that is in here, and we can really explore with this. But of course, as all the other subjects too. Okay. So what made me smile was looking at the past. Well, the past is something that can make you smile or can make you cry as well. So when I say cry, the word past would show what it was as it was. Hence, we have the word as. And it would also mean like, I'm looking at these words here that we can have from this, which would be like you would pass, like PAS, but of course they say pass as PASS. So that would be like one, you would have passed a test, you would have passed something, because it would have been as whatever you would pass. Now, another thing that I saw with past is that TASAT, and we can see from here, when you were at school, of course, you were given the test, which is like task here, but you were given a task or test, and we are doing the spirit of sound mind here, and you would either pass that test. Now, there don't seem to be any degree of fail in this aspect of the past, because it seemed like there is always a degree of pass in the word past, that even you had failed, you would have passed your failure, your experience of failure, of failing. So that would be a pass in a sense. I'm just being funny. But what really made me smile is there is always a PA. This is what your personal assistant in the word past. I thought that was very, very encouraging for me. So in your past, there's always a personal assistant. That's the personal assistant who's always bringing your past to the fore. Of course, this is the serpent. This is Mother Eve. This is the snake. This is Saturn. Always bringing the past to your north, south, east, and west to see how you have done, or how you weather the storm, whatever it is. So that sort of made me smile to realize that in your past you always have a personal assistant, which is the serpent right here. And of course, ST that we use as first, the abbreviation, is still in itself really denoting that the serpent is the first to tell you about your past, your present, your future, or how well you did with your north, your south, your east, and west. So I thought that was exciting. Okay, and we also have the serpent right here in the middle, of course, the middle of present. We did that in the first presentation. So we know pre is that which comes before, it's sent ahead. And of course we have ENT, which of course we have sent, but the E is the double five. It's like end. It's ending, it's showing the serpent here is like a demarcation, the two fives, which is really like two S's actually. It's like two serpents, like two exclamation marks of the serpent. Of course, that's when the serpent is being very rigid. You would have two strokes. But basically, it's the five, as I say, is really a symbol of the masculine and feminine aspect of the serpent. So we have the two E's here, and of course it's like Mother Eve has turned, this N is like when you have been turned upside down, you have been turned different ways. It's the you that is turned upside down, but Mother Eve is there with you to really show you your north again, your south, your east, and your west. So this is why T now, I'm getting a very clear understanding about the letter T. It's like it's that stamp. It's unified. It's harmony. It's marriage. It's unity. It's all of those things because you're looking at two directions, like two strokes. So it's your horizontal and your vertical lines right here. So I think that's really beautiful and really getting to understand. It's getting to understand the makeup of the letters even more. I love it. There is another thing that I also observe. Of course, we had done this. We had add the T, which is the value of 2 plus 7, has given us 9. We have seen the beauty of that, which means that the present, or this pre and the ends, are coming together. It's like when you are in a moment, it must birth some kind of newness. And of course, 9 is new. And we see how 7 too is whole. We have done this, which is you, which is you. Okay. There was something else, of course, with the S in the middle of present. I thought was very, very very significant. I am tempted to see this almost like the V, or the S is like a W as well. We could say that, or like a V, that as if there ought to be Eve or 7 or in there, but we have seen that also equals 7, I believe. Let's do 10. This is 20, 25. So we see that this resin, whatever it is as a whole, it equals 7 right here. So basically, and it has two aspects of Eve, or two fives when we say 2 plus 5. So 2 plus 5 is like giving us an indication that Eve is very present in the two aspects of that which we are, of the 7 gods. And in my presentation of past, present, future on the CCC, which is the third one, I have shown how number 5 is also number 7. So when we have these two 5s here, we can see how when this all comes to 25, which equals 7, we see how the 5 also becomes 7. So this is really like telling us 7 is 2 5s. Okay. Future. I felt I needed to go over future again because it's something so profound had happened here, and I'm just hoping, I really want people to get this. Of course, so we have the T or the cross as well. If it was the T, which is 2, the word cross as in Christ also equals 20. So this is 9, 6, 1, 1. Okay, so this is 15 and 3, 18, 19, 20. So the cross in actual fact equals 20. 20 is the number for planting. I have done planting, but I don't remember if it's really in 20 the vibrational or numerical value of 20, but let's do this. 1, this is plant, we'll do planting. 2, okay, so this is 10 plus 2 is 12, plus 2 is 14. Wow, this is Mother Eve. So plant is Mother Eve. And planting, this would be 7. ing is 7. I have done this. So this would be like 3 7s, 20. Well, that would be 21. So planting here is 3. But if we do the numerical value for 3, I know it is 11. And of course, when we do 11, we can see how 11 becomes 7. We have done that. We have seen how 7 is 11, which is 2. So there, in actual fact, this comes pretty close to what we are looking at. Okay, I'm trying to get my thoughts around here, but yeah, okay. So let's look at north, south, east, west here again. It's the F word, or F letter rather. So the F letter, which I saw, I'm going to do it on here. I saw the F letter, so as though it were the incomplete cross. It's the cross had been viewed at one angle, so to speak. It's so you are looking at a certain angle and you're not really perhaps looking this way, and you are seeing this is like, I'm not quite sure which angle, but it does not, you are not seeing it as it really, as the whole. So we call the whole here, when we say 4, F-O-U-R, we see 4 has hour in it, the word hour, which is 6, 3, 9, which we are talking about 3, 6, 9. It's not the same order, but it's there. And this is also 6. The F is 6. So the F is really saying to us here that you are whole, but it's not really, perhaps, I don't know if it's because it's missing the day of rest here, or as the 7, because the day of rest is a 7, which is like this in actual fact, and we are looking at the F that's the other side of the F right there. So depending on how we are looking at, perhaps it means we are looking at, we can only really look at one part of ourselves at any given moment. So when I see you, I see 6, and I'm not seeing the relationship of myself in you. So that's what it is. And this is why we have given the future to kind of look at with the T in the middle, to mirror. Actually, it really helps us to mirror ourselves in each other. So that is really wonderful. And so This it's like the and it almost seemed like I have this picture about whether the cross had been put down. It's like the cross had been put down, and then you can only see, it's as if you see in this part. If you were to view the cross from an angle like this, I think that's something to that effect. It depends on your stance that you are seeing the cross as an F and not like a cross. Now that also makes sense because we are not on the cross. When we are looking at the cross or we look in the mirror, of course we can see ourselves like this, but are we always seeing ourselves like that? So it's as if the hand has been put, one hand has been put on the head, one arm has been put on the head, we could say, that's where you are, it's your forehead, it's your front, it's your this is your face. Okay, we know it's face. So basically what I was saying is that this is your waist, this is your waist, and what I saw is of course the waist, the W is your W. So it's when you are looking at the face, when you are faced with your W, you are meant to be faced with your W, but the W now, which is the waist, it goes on the head. You have placed your waist on your head. So basically that also tells me, like as if you have brought your past, because the past is in correlation with the waist. So when you get up and you go to work, you have left your west behind and you go to work in the east. But when you have left work, you go back to the west. You go back to your W. You go back to your home, which is 5, and the W actually is 5. You go back to Mother Eve, which is 5. You go back to you use your key, which is 5. You use your anchor. You anchor on the W, which is also 5. You do your Christ. You're with Christ. You are doing 5. So whenever you are really in the west, you are doing 5. That makes sense. Although the word west equals 31, but it equals 31, which is 4. But of course 4 is 6. And this is where we see the magic of the W, because the W turns and it projects different values. So that is okay. In fact, I don't even need to justify that. So this is what happens with the W. It gives you the aspect or the opportunity to see the different movements you can do, because isn't it in our house, in our home, we are freer to play all different roles, and we are there in our homes. We are a mother, we are father, we are sisters, brothers, we are cooks, we are the dry cleaners, we are all we are the gardener, we are the cook, we are the plumber, fixing things in our homes, we are the decorator. So we are doing in the west, that W, we are there. So the F actually, and it really makes me see the power of, or I should say, of how Facebook have grabbed that F, because when you are on Facebook, you have taken all those W's and you are projecting all these into Facebook right here. hence book is also 7. So basically, if you were to add 6 plus 7, you are doing 13. And that again, this 13 is where the engagements and the agreements and the bonding, because once you click into Facebook, you become equal with them, and so you have created a bond. Once you sign up, you say yes, I agree or accept, you have created a bond. So every time you see that face, you are doing bonding and enforcing your agreement as it were the ritual of Christ with Facebook. Now that is just one example of what happens right there. And then, of course, when you are there, you are being very present with Facebook, because the word book equals 7. When we do 2, 2, and of course the B itself is telling you you're hooked. The B, because that's the bonding that just happens there. And of course, with the 2 knots, which is like 2 eyes, your 2 circles of your eyes is right there. So this is where Facebook have really done it. This is 2, this is 6. You are 6 here, you are 6 there. They have got the mirror, the book. This is why it is said there are 2 sides to every story, even in the book. So the book is mirroring, it's the 2 aspects of that. So 8 plus 8 is 16. 1 plus 6 is 7. As I said in my other presentation, we can see how powerful 16 and 7 is. Now that also means that they have got the ability, even there, as I have been showing, that this is the 8-petal flower. So the flower in itself, I think I did flower before, but it's 8. As long as you're doing 8, you have done God. This is doing God right here. So this is 6 again. Flower is 6, 3, 6, 5, 5, 9. So there's a comfort, there's 5, 9 here. So this is 10, 19. This would be 19 plus 6 would be 25, plus 3 would be 28, 29, 36, 34, 34. So that flower is 7. Wow. So flowers, that's 10, 19, 19, 25, 28, 29, 30, 34. So flower is 34, and that means flower is 7. Wow. So once we have done this 8-petal flower, we are actually connecting with, that's why the flower is present. It is present. Perhaps that's why Ecclesiastes says man is like the flower that fades. So basically, man have to be present. Whenever you are not being present, you are not being man in that moment. That's you're not, yeah, you are in the future doing your W and those kinds of things. So but that the face hair, so it's your north. So you've got your N hair, which is your north, but you have put your north onto your W. You probably even turned it upside down here, because the north is on the W, and so you have been doing ME. This is where you are doing, that's Mother Eve working for me. I'm not going to take credit for this. So this is where you are doing ME. You are going me. This is me. You are seeing me. And me is 9. So every time you are doing me, you are birthing me. Every cycle of visualization or me you are doing, you are birthing 9. And of course 9 is also the petal flower, in the sense that it equals I. So this is another way of seeing it as the I, when the I is open, EYE, I equals 8, I equals 8, 17. and of course 1 plus 7 is 8. So of course the letter I equals 9. So we are dealing with the spirit of sound mind. Okay, I think that is something I really wanted to grab, and it's really given me more scope as well. I hope you see that. Okay, and for future, well, we have covered the P. The other last thing that I saw with P is that P is also one of those letters that is easy to see as a D and also as B. So Drescent, whatever we want to say, but it gives us it helps us to see the different aspects or facets to it. So yes, let's look at that. So we have D and we have B and we have P. So P, and we would have what other letter that D, P, or 9. Wow. So this is us. This is us. So this is like a 4-petal flower, the 4 bees. So there we see the power of 7. We see the power of 7 as the P. This is really wonderful. So P equals 9. P is 9. B is 2. D is 4. And 9, of course, is 9. And I'm just curious to see what that comes to, which is, this is 9, 9, 18, 19, 20. It's 24. That means it is 2 plus 4. 2 plus 4 is 6. So this is a representation of wholeness. Now, to conclude this, it has 4 aspects to it. But when we do the numerical value for the 4, because 4 is completion in that sense. 4, F-O-U-R, which is where the hour is. We see that this is 6, 6, 3, 9. Wow. So this is 12, 13, 14, 15. This is the time of day for me now. So 12 plus 12, that's it, 24. 2 plus 4 is 6. Okay, so 2 plus 4, again, 2 plus 4 is 6. So 4 is really giving us the image or the clear message that when it comes to 24, we are looking at 2 sets of 4s. But there again, we are looking at our W's. We are looking at 2 sets of 4 because, and no wonder it is the hour here, because we are looking at 2 sets of W. So I have the 2 sets of 4 points, and of course you are my W right here, and we are of 6. That we make up 6. Lovely, lovely. Of course, really delicious. Okay. So I think this all makes sense. So we can see how that the scriptures in essence have been used in a way to have been strategized to really put people in all sorts of different mindset whereas it's the same Bible, but it's because there is some thing called numerology, which probably has no end to it, but it gives us some insight of what happens. I have done numbers that have come like some long division and come back to itself. So we see like 9, for instance. If we do the numerical value for 9, it becomes 6, which tells us we are whole, and that works out beautifully with the template. We see with 4, if we do the numerical value for the word 4, it gives us 6. If we do the numerical value for the word 5, it gives us 6, because there we are talking about our 5 senses. So the mathematical equations are really spot on in essence, but it's us needing to get a sense of how we can use them to really serve us. Thank you for watching. I hope you have found this fun, and do like and subscribe, and of course let me thank my subscribers as well, and for subscribing to the Crime Queen channel. Thank you very much. Okay, namaste.